So I'm going to start by reading this poem that's really new. And it's in, I guess, response to a text that was published on the Harriet website by this person, Vanessa Place, who lives in LA. And her poem, if that's what it was called No More. Wait, are you recording this?
I can stop if need be.
No, it's okay. So I'm not going to read Vanessa's text because it's vile.
Read it.
But I'm going to read mine. No more work. No more police. No more tennis balls. No more defensive work, police, tennis balls. No more money. No more shame. And no more shaming unless you deserve it. No more misanthropy in the appearance of pharmaceuticals. No more profit. No more conquest of land or sympathetic thought of conquest. No more Obama, but no more sovereigns, period. No more mansplainers. No more manarchists. No more men. No more housemons. No more radical evil. No more poison. No more bosses. No more slaves. No more debt. No more depression. No more loveless interpolation. No more explanations. No more peroneal tendon. No more war. No more recruiters. No more Kanye. Okay, no, a little more Kanye. But no more papers. No more borders. No more Paula Deen. No more nihilism, we believe in something, Lebowski. No more Inferno. No more June 1871. No more songs sung to make songs cower. No more non-pet names. No more hoarding. No more, no more.
Yeah.
So, I'm reading this whole Amanda Bynes debacle as a philosopher facing a crisis of reception. So she's like a nose-jobbed Socrates who also reaped marketplace hate, and we make her drink the hemlock too. You know, when Amanda Bynes calls everybody ugly, she doesn't mean they have asymmetrical faces. She's having a vision of the soul that she yearns to name. Our culture rejoices in her crisis precisely to avoid hearkening to what stakes she raised in that river of tweets. You know, like, schadenfreude is so sinister. The word makes me think of Steve Jobs, toasting aged Dom to Foxconn suicides, watching security footage with his little boner. Amanda's concern is beauty, and she is willing to sing it, although she extricates herself from future film roles like a gangrenous tooth. Well, count me out of this inverted envy regime, happy with her auto demolition. I'm trying to stay pretty. Prettier than that.
You got it.
But, so I did see this skateboarder eat shit on Telegraph the other day, and I totally smiled. It was like vestigial adolescent jealousy reappearing as smug superiority. It was so thoughtlessly ugly. No crown but one covered in earth. No glitter without a slave to shave long swaths of sparkling base. It's so ugly. You know, listen to Amanda Bynes. She's trying to help us. Ooh. So now I'm going to read this poem called Wolves. And it's like, I think it's like the only global warming poem I ever read. Yeah, whatever. Oh yeah, but it's taking off on this poem by the ancient Roman poet Horace, who wrote this okay poem about he's walking in a field and reciting his own poems to himself.
I do that.
And then he sees a wolf, and the wolf is like, never mind, I'm out. So it's the power of poetry, you all. Okay, so in the last winter on Earth, I walked through the woods giving a poetry reading. I give it to wolves, gazing out from behind big clumpy weeds, and they're wearing snow wigs. My own wig is pure pelf. My poem a cadenced paean to pelts, and then my pants are kind of wet beneath my belt. When there's no more winters, where are all these wolves gonna go? The trees melt into the forest floor. It's gonna be that hot everywhere in the world. Thank God I fucking hate skiing and hockey and every other winter activity, except for slipping down a slim path to a hot tub with you in it. And so then in the poem, I think about my friend Dana, who hates winter. He lives in Cincinnati, and he loves smoking. So these two things are really hard for him, right? So he always has to lean out of a window and freeze. And he'll be fine. He'll be happy when the winter's over. And then maybe we can convince him to move to Oakland or San Francisco or whatever. Because in Cincinnati, it'll be 130, and here it'll be 105. Okay, so in my former life, I was a snowflake, drifting into someone's coffee to make it that much shittier to drink. You can just tell. But I'm trying to be sweeter now, like a banana fried sundae, swimming in chocolate lava. But in the life before that, I was like a broken watch. And in the life before that, I was a motherfucking wolf. 6 to 8 years, I medium raged in a still kind of chilly wood. When little fascists came to sucker my nip, I said nope. I ate plums and I drank plums. I knew what I was. Host to an army of ticks that loved powdered sugar snow caught in the clefts of my fur. I was a wolf, right? So I tumble around the snow, mouth all smeared with fruity mess, giving poetry readings. I guess when there's no more winter, there won't be any more falling into precarious ice and drowning in a lake. 12 months of lemonade cut with freeze cups, chewing up chicken wings, ravenous, sweating on the porch, translating Horace. You know, that poem where he walks through a field, right where taxes meet vestigial commons. I mean, right where. So close he can see it and put it in his poem. Singing a song to himself about how hot this one ass looked, bouncing on top of his toga, snapping the cot, Roman solstice, gasoline smells coming off a chariot, pretty hot. The poem only is racist twice, which is a record for him. It's gonna be so hot when all I want to do in this incarnation is stay cool, Antarctic, barbecue on Neptune cool, Eileen Miles cool, walking through the woods, reading my poems to fucking wolves, who are discerning readers. They love my new work. I make eye contact with them through the reeds. While there are still reeds, while there are still wolves, I'm out there walking in ridiculous weather, in a ridiculous get-up, tweeting at the Cubs. Okay, thank you. So, I'm going to read one last poem, and it's called My Favorite Things. Woo! Everything would be easier if I could simply oppose what I love to what I fear, but sometimes it's hard to tell which is which. So sometimes you end up cuddling hot lava, mad at your taste buds for their naivete. It would be so much easier with magic glasses. Like those ones that let Joseph Smith see the words that salamander wrote on invisible gold or whatever, which are now like in a marshmallow roast in the boiler room of Casa Romney. Steamy lozenge against a toxic social. I like to take it rectally, but then I would. That won't surprise any of you little Swiss fuckers with pitch as perfect as your blonde parts. Do, re, mi, fa, so my face always looks like somebody stinks. And it does. They do. My favorite things. When dogs drool all over a divan I intend to sleep on. When I realize my love is bird puke. Then I try and docent the meanderings of my psychic life. In a field in upstate New York, picking little bird bones out of tonsil scars. I'm trying to think about my favorite things, but my avatar is depressed. I've got to ply it with watery opiate, one of my favorite things. As if my vital haptic organs were one of those soccer players, writhing on the turf in histrionic agony until a coach comes with magic spray, and we all see that another world is not only possible, but that we already live there. Candlesticks cleaning themselves, whatever. Anyway, we spend our liberated time like learning German, wearing saddle suckers. When the knee breaks, when the cop knocks, when my book busts, when my dentist friend can't cop me parlor tanks of Novocaine, when the brig leaks, then I think of my favorite things. Poetry, oysters, idle talk, Dee Dee Ramone barking, "Whoa!" Astrology. The way your teeth feel fucked up after a long floss. You can ask your tongue what it likes, but ironically, the tongue just lays there. A big bacteria magnet, but incredibly useful. And it's one of my favorite things. When my tongue talks to my teeth, it speaks in a luscious dialect. Getting weird on the walk to the party. Sometimes I get so sick of my crazy friends walking together on the sidewalk, totally absorbed by their own literally epic narcissism. But to live with them in a communist world is one of my favorite things. Picking gum out of each other's gums. Brushing bird puke from each other's hair like wet dandruff. The poem won't overthrow the government, but the poem is one of my favorite things. It can be considered when the friend dies, when the neighbor is an asshole to you on the stairs. When you're feeling sad, stop watching The Office. Touch my taint and I will touch yours, but please stop watching The Office. I want to fuck you in the Mormon tabernacle. Yeah, we're gonna get arrested. But then we can write prison poetry. One of our favorite things. I feel like I've sucked enough for 2 lives, mine and a freaky doppelganger's. Touching some nun's taint in wherever Austria butts up against a Nazi-free Switzerland. Playing acoustic guitar and shoving schnitzel into each other's open mouths. Okay, so my friends are actually considering the idea that dachshunds are better than pathetic liberals. Well, okay. The dog does anything for a taste of pressed veal penis, one of its favorite things. When the canines come, when the seals flood one who merely proposes to hustle and ceaselessly hustle, when the chair sways, when the airplane dips, when I'm feeling bad. When you think of your favorite things in the middle of an event that is terrifying or disgusting, it is, of course, an act of total denial. Magic glasses balm against a boring life in upstate New York. You know, I feel Joseph Smith, who only wanted direct contact with the prosody of heroic critters. You think it's fun to be a Mormon? You think it's fun to be an oyster? Fuck no. Those freaky white people in the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, singing in eerily perfect harmony. Communism here on Earth. I mean, in Utah. In a sodaless utopia that I sing from the far periphery, rubbing softest ass, licking the backs of my molars, loving how nasty it is to be embodied, and how better it is to be nasty than dead. Thanks, guys, for checking it out.